MailChimp creates highly personalized marketing across email and SMS to win back your lapsed customers.
I'm back, baby.
Intuit MailChimp.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and
Hello! We're here. We're gonna build some games. Got the Pirate Software Game Jam coming up soon. And boy howdy, am I going to be a part of it. This is gonna be my very first Game Jam. Really excited about it. I hope that everyone is doing well. We're having a great time in this wonderful holiday season. Some big plans for the new year. Very excited for everyone that's here. Thank you for joining us already. And can't wait to get moving. Our goal is to try and get Twitch affiliate before January. I don't know if that's gonna be possible, but we're gonna make a big push. Today, our big obstacle to that is conversation. That's our next goal as set up by Twitch. We need to get 5 people chatting at the same time. Frankly, I don't think chat's up to it. I don't think we're there yet. But boy, we're gonna try. And then we need average viewers to go up. So if you're here, help a lot. If you stick around, be part of this early journey of this wild, ridiculous adventure. Today, we're going to be building this platformer. The really big problem we were encountering last time was trying to make the game flip correctly. So if I run the game here, once it loads, we were running into this problem of like, how do I have these buttons move with the camera? And we did some research, and it was looking really weird, looking really bad. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to continue to be bad. I went looking for everything that I could to try and figure out how do you have a GUI in Game Maker that moves with the player. And it is some of the jankiest, most ridiculous stuff I have ever seen. Not only is it not like natively built in, they have the GUI layer, the draw GUI layer, but in order to keep buttons moving along with that GUI layer, you have to you don't do that. You just check if the mouse is in the X and Y coordinates on the screen where the button should be. And if it is, and they click, then you click the button. I can't believe this is the simple solution for this. One of these other like really big holes in Game Maker. So we're not doing that. Because I think that's incredibly dumb. And clearly, GameMaker was just not built for clickable UI. Be like on the screen. So like if you're trying to make Diablo or something, I don't even know. I don't even know how you would do that in this, other than this really annoying hacky way. So we're not doing that. And as a part of that, came to realize as well that this mechanic, this part of the proof of concept of shrinking the viewports in rooms, just isn't worth trying to figure out anymore. There is probably a way to do it, but I have no confidence that it is a way that is going to be reasonable for me to produce. And at this point, we gotta cut scope, we gotta readjust, we gotta pivot based on our technical constraints. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's our technical pivot. Talked about this with my wife that same night of the stream. We started talking about what are some possibilities we can do to still have a fun experience, to still accomplish what the game is wanting to do, but that will operate within the technical constraints. And what we came up with, I'm actually really excited about. I think this is going to be a very good pivot, and while it's going to lose some WoW pizzazz, it's going to bring in a whole heck of a lot more. I'm really excited about. So, first off, we're axing whiteboard. We're axing this. No longer a thing. It's gone. It's dead, Jim. Completely gone. All right. Dots. Then we're going to make it just like a regular platformer. You go in to do a level, all you will see is the UI for the platforming. Upon death or level completion, you will be taken to a lobby sort of space. This is going to seem very familiar to you if you've been playing like Death May Die or something like that, or Death Must Die. Having a hub space where the player can readjust, prepare for the next run, and get upgrades, evaluate things, all that sort of stuff. They can make their plan before launching into the next level. So, we need to have that neutral zone. When you die or you complete the level, get sent back to this neutral space. And these are going to be different rooms. So each level of the platforming now can be a room with just one view and one camera, and the neutral zone can be a room in that neutral zone. We're gonna have a shop, and that's where you can buy your upgrades. So you click into the shop, it will take you to a new room in GameMaker for the shop. You can make any purchases you want with any of the currencies that you've earned. We're gonna build a practice room where you are going to be able to test out your new character, your new settings, your new build in a very condensed space. So have really tall platforms, short platforms, enemies walking around, water, death triggers, all that sort of stuff. It'll all be condensed into one specific room. And then we are going to have a polyomino system. I love polyominoes. I think they're very fun. If you've played like Backpack Hero or something like that, or Backpack Battles has been taken over a lot recently, you're very familiar with the concept of polyominoes. It's just different sized, you can think of them like Tetris pieces that you fit into a grid. And, Tetris was the first thing to really play with polyominoes in that digital space. And now we're seeing a whole lot of play with it. I think it's very fun. I think it's a very neat mechanic. So, you will have your character's inventory to which you can then place things around on to change how your character behaves. Next up, we need to have passive income. So when you're in that neutral space, you need to have like a tracker for every level that you've beaten. And we're just gonna do a simple sprite of like level 1, maybe like the head of a boss or something, I don't know. And it will kind of flash every time that it gains currency, have some sort of cooldown timer or something, have a little thing pop up, and then float and disappear over a short amount of time to say, hey, you just gained this much stuff. Okay. We need to have a next level button, so you can just click, go to the next level. I thought about maybe having like a preview in there so that you can like remember what you were trying to build for. I don't quite know how that would work. You know, do we want like Fog of War? Like you can preview, you can see like a snapshot of the level that you have explored so far. I don't know. Or do we want to just like have icons to kind of indicate what is this level going to be in? And this is probably going to be what we start off with because it's a lot smaller in scope. And we'll just define a certain amount of icons. So we'll have like, you know, this requires really tall jumps. This requires water. This requires low gravity or floating. This one has a lot of enemies. This one has really wide gaps to cross. Stuff like that. So that maybe just underneath that next level button, there will be those little icons to say, this is what you should be looking to build character for on the next level. And that's that. And so we've got some like quick drawings of what this might look like. We look over here. This is kind of what I'm thinking that neutral space may look like, where you have your player character, the circle, with a grid and like they're kind of sleeping, kind of little animations. And we have the grid on there. We can snap different polyominoes that we have in our inventory, snap those on, and it's like, hey, you now have gills, you can swim. Or hey, your swim speed goes up, have some fins. Your run speed goes up, you got some shoes, or you got another life, have a hard hat. You know, all those sorts of upgrades that will be visually represented on the character. So this is going to be a big deal to build. It's going to be tough. I don't know how to do snapping to a grid, that sort of stuff, or click and drag. I guess we could say left down and then move the origin of the thing to the X, Y of the mouse, and then on mouse up, stop doing that. I guess that's the easy way to do that. But then how do we get it to snap to the grid and like not get placed if there's a conflict, if it doesn't fit? Those are all things we're gonna have to figure out. We've got our level trackers up here, like level 1, doot, 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 you got currency, way to go! And then jumping into the shop in order to buy upgrades or consumables or what have you. Possibly having some sort of transmog system. I don't know. Starting to get into scope creep, but being able to like recolor your character and have some cosmetics. And then we have our next level button. So this is really the rest of the proof of concept. It's a big chunk of work. Very big chunk of work. But I am excited nonetheless. We're diving into it. I think it's going to be a much stronger direction in many ways. And I think it can be attainable, which is an even bigger deal. So, with that being said, I need to go take a quick 2-second break, grab some water. That was a big intro. We'll be back in just 2 minutes, and we'll start building these proof of concept mechanics out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just 2 seconds. All right, let's dive on in. Let's go make dreams happen. Break reality. And internets. So first up, neutral zone on death. Let's start building that. All right. Let's go to our rooms here. Move my microphone and just blast everyone. Please. All right. Go to our rooms. Check out what we've got here. The browser. We're gonna need at least 3 different rooms, right? So we need a second level. We have level 1, neutral space, shop, practice area, level 2. We need 5 levels. So we need 4 more rooms. Create. Okay, so this will be the void. Room underscore the void. And room 2, room underscore shop. Room underscore workshop, I guess. It's gonna be like the practice area, the danger room. And then room level 2. Move all these in our room object. There we go. We'll rename room game level 1. Rabjus. So we'll start on level 1, get to the end, then we'll move to the void. So let's start working on the win conditions and loss conditions. So we need to do sprite player. Not sprite, what am I doing? Object player. And now we need to do this player defeated thing. So let's look for collision with enemy. And I guess we don't want even collision with enemy, do we? We want in the step. We want to check if our health is equal to 0. Are we setting health anywhere? Let's set it to 1 by default. We have object player, and then in the step event, I'm setting it to 1 because I figure most enemies are gonna have like 1 hit point, right? And then we'll just reset. We'll just establish what HP and max HP is on each character object. So we've got HP, yeah. No, we want max HP equal to 3. And then HP equal max HP. Just kind of reset that for our player. Now, here, we need to say if HP is less than or equal to 0, then we need to end the game. So we need to see, where's our collision stat? Where's object player defeated? This is really annoying. I wish, is there really not a way in Game Maker to find across all objects? Search through all written code. Control Shift F. Yeah. Okay. Character parent end. Create. Okay. Cool. Right on. It's an instance of the character's defeated object. E.g., it will be OBJ player defeated. OBJ player. It's created at the same position as the character itself because of the relative options. It's created in the same layer as the character using its layer variable. In the same layer as the character by using its layer variable. Ah. Where this be? Destroys the character instance itself. Okay. So I guess my question is, like, instance create layer, sure, at our X and Y on this layer, but then what's defeated object? What is that getting passed? Is that a variable that we're declaring? Instance. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. There is a way to, like, check what we are passing in here. It is object. Okay, and it is, looks like it is a variable. So defeated object then is, yep, right there. So we can reset that in enemies. So like if we go to enemy 1, we can add, or we can inherit. Okay, so enemy parent. We do have a lot of stuff in here that we're just inheriting, but we're not doing anything with. So that's interesting. You don't inherit your parents' events. So you don't inherit grandparent events. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and bring in a new one. We're gonna, in the new create step, we're gonna say defeated object is equal to obj enemy underscore 1 defeated. Just initializing that. Okay. So now, if HP is less than or equal to 0, instance create layer. Yes. Okay. So we can actually delete the stuff in the step event we were starting to do. Because we're already accounting for this in the character parent, which is rad. Good job, Joe. All right. Very cool. XP cooldown. What's XP cooldown? Is that our invincibility timer? Setting it to 0. Then set XP cooldown to 120. Okay, I'm assuming that is our invulnerability timer, and it is just like being named weirdly. Let's see. HP, assign variable. Okay, yeah. So, right, okay. And all this stuff, this whole event we can get rid of. Well, no. Actually, yeah, because we don't want to be clicking on the coin anymore. We want to collide. So we're going to cut the actual part where we're incrementing our coin value. We're going to say collision, objects, characters, player. Well, let's actually host this in the player so that all of our collisions are in the player object. That seems like that would make sense to me. Okay, let's go ahead and delete all those. Delete. It's not working. Weird. I can't do it from the... Jeez. I can't do it from the sidebar. I have to do it in the actual thing. Okay. Lame. So let's go back to OBJ coin. And then OBJ player. So we've got if collide. If collide. Yeah. We do. We need to add. We need to assign the variable. Right? So if we're doing this, then just coins total equals 5 relative. That's gonna say plus equals that. Sense? So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to think through, like, how is this going to all connect? And what are the next steps? My brain gets ahead of itself so quickly and so easily that I need to take time and walk myself back to what I'm trying to actually accomplish. Okay, so okay. So we can go to the coins now and delete this left pressed event. Or I guess disable it. Left down. Okay, that's not doing anything. Delete. Delete left down. Disable left pressed. You can just comment everything out. Okay. So let's just test this out, make sure before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Okay. Object enemy 1 defeated is not set. So we just need to make an object for OBJ enemy defeated 1, or enemy 1 defeated. Go. That should, we're getting a crash saying, hey, this thing doesn't exist. Okay. Object enemy 1, velocity X not set before reading it. That's weird. Why are you causing problems now? You've never caused problems before. Why are all of a sudden you freaking out? Oh, it's because we're not inheriting. Copy. Delete event. Inherit event. There we go. That's got to be a problem. Yeah, there we go. All right. So when we hit the coin, we should get a lot of money. Perfect. All right. Let's make that coin disappear now. So do this, and then we'll just destroy the instance. So this should just destroy the coin when we step in on top of it. Ah, delete. Crashes. Okay. Unable to find instance for object index 15 at GML object dialog parent. Draw text. Okay, so did it delete the player then? I still have no understanding of self versus other versus etc. There we go. That was the problem. We destroyed the player, and then the game was like, well, I don't have any. I'm referencing the player to display text. I can't do this anymore. All right, right on. So we got the coin pickup working. Frabjous. And then we need to lose health when we collide with an enemy. Let's see. Collide with enemy. Oh yes, we're gonna change XP cooldown. Do we have like invuln anywhere? Frames? No hurt frames. Okay. Okay. So, what do we got here? We've got we have this function in character parent saying if we have no hurt frames set, essentially count it like a timer. Georgie Boyo, hello, how you doing? I think we're just gonna get rid of this, because the whole point of this was like making the character invisible, of like doing a full on-off flash. I don't think we even want a full on-off flash. I think we just want... No. Joe, stop it. Stop getting ahead of yourself. We're not dealing with usability even right now. We're just looking at building and this function. Okay. Let's go back. Go back to the player, and I think all we're gonna do here is if no hurt frames is greater than 0, we'll go ahead and keep on incrementing experience, but we'll remove this XP cooldown thing. That's not needed anymore, and then we're going to change the what's it called? No hurt frame. No, we don't need to do that because we're handling it in the parent event. So we don't need to modify no hurt frames here. What we need to modify is our health. So HP set to -1 relative. So that will just be plus equals -1, or minus equals 1. Let's see here. Is this working? What's interesting is we're not getting experience anymore. That's interesting. Why is that happening? I don't think we need XP cooldown, right? We can just remove that. Still using that in here. Oh my goodness. In the player event. We don't need this. We're already doing this in the character parent. Really, we really don't need that anymore. Cool. We've eliminated XP cooldown from the code. Good. Now I'm curious, is that going to fix this for us? No, it's not. We are no longer colliding with enemies. If, oh, ha, duh, is, so if no hurt frames is less than or equal to 0, not greater than 0, because what we were saying is, if you are invulnerable, if you are not getting hurt in these frames, then get hurt. Duh. Obviously, we just had the wrong operator. Okay, so we need to set no hurt frames now to, let's say, 120. Right? I'm curious if there's a space where we have initialize no hurt frames, and it's supposed to be a value that I am unaware of. I don't think so. I'm not seeing it down here in the search results. So we're probably good. Let's try this out. Let's see if we got it working. Come on. There we go. There's experience. Hey, and there's the... oh, man. There is the warning of... epilepsy. We for sure need that to... if we're gonna have it flash, it's gonna have to be on a sequence so that we can use some Bezier animation curves, keyframes. If we can't do that, let's just set it to... comment all that. Ignoring the flash until we can set up a sequence for the animation. Because that was too much. Okay, we're perfect. Excellent. Love it. So now we need to draw our health with max health shown and total health shown. So we need some GUI drawn here. Let's go to the player. Let's go to our draw GUI. We have coins and XP, and then we're also going to paste. It's going to be I mean, we're just gonna go the super basic really ugly way just to get stuff moving. Once again, if we're trying to prep for a game jam, we have to be okay with stuff that is pretty low quality. Oh, of course, then I'm drawing them all on top of each other. Okay, so we need to change the Y values here. So let's set it to, what, are we incrementing it by 50? Yeah, 150. So that will move it down, and then 200 will move it down. And I think I'm going to add an extra condition here. So if is clicked, I want an OR. We're gonna have to change the code. Perfect is the enemy of shipped. That is absolutely right, especially when it comes to projects you are not getting paid for and that are not even for the creation of the thing yet. They're just like there. This is proof of concept. Okay, so if is clicked equals to 1 or XP is less than max HP. How's it going? How's it going, Ben, over on YouTube? See ya. Now, unfortunately, it did seem to obliterate all of my other draw GUI events, which is a big bummer. Okay, let's write a comment. Check if, and honestly, we don't even need is clicked. All we need is if coins total is greater than or equal to 1, and if XP is less than max HP, then we can turn this on. And then I'm just gonna repeat this. So XP, and then string is XP. Paste, paste. 150, and this is HP. And then max HP. Mostly just for debugging purposes, so I can make sure that if we're gonna like bring in upgrades or something, make it happen. Okay, check this out. Hey, look at that UI. It's displaying immediately, which it shouldn't, but we'll just, I'm curious if it was, I put an equal sign in here, if, oh, wait, hold on. We don't want less than or equal to max HP. We want less than max HP, right?
Searching for music for
How strange. I don't know why it's triggering. Whatever, doesn't matter. Grab the coin. We now have 5 coins. And then, okay, this is interesting. Why is our, what's going on with our health here? And experience. Do we have like duplicate stuff happening? Okay, that was strange. Also, in room level 1, we need to get rid of this extra player that we have because we don't need to deal with that anymore. What? Don't delete the whole instance of the layer. I just want this one object, please. Thank you. XP less than max HP. Yeah. Oh. There you go. I see what you're calling out there, and you're right. You're very right. There we go. All right. So we're still... Oh, I know what the problem was. I know why we were getting that double write-over effect. Because we had 2 object players in the room. So it was like reading through each object player and then displaying both of those things in that spot. So one person had 0 experience and one person had 1 experience. One had 2 health, the other person had 1 health. Now we do need to reset our oops. We need to reset our opacity so we know when our invulnerability is over. You know what? Instead of not commenting that out anymore, I'm gonna comment all this and then just put an else here and then we'll uncomment all that. So that way we're not getting the flashing that causes epilepsy. Try this again. Cool. 1, and then it should die. Great. And then it crashes because the game is saying, I don't know how to apply gravity to an object that doesn't exist anymore. That's fine. Okay. But we are dying. That's good. Now we need to move to... Maybe instead of dying, maybe this is what we need to do. Instead of dying, we need to move to... move to the new room. Okay. So now let's throw a quick sprite for player defeated. And we're just gonna do a big X going through our circular friend. And then I'll export that. OBJ player defeated. Or, oh no, not OBJ. Sprite player defeated. And I know you can't see this. You will see it shortly. Drag this into our sprites folder. There we go. Isn't it gorgeous? Stunning. Work of beauty. Got our player defeated. Right there. Perfect. Okay. So now we should get this little crossy guy show up right before the game crashes. There we go. Perfect. Oh, you know what? Our origin is in the top left. Change that. Middle center. Perfect. Every time I deal with origins now, I think of you, Ben. All right. Oops. Right on. What's next? We need to move rooms. We need to change rooms when we die. So really what we should be doing is play some sequence on create. Create a sequence, and it's player defeated. SEQ, player defeated. And it will just exist relative to itself. And we'll get rid of that target. Gonna add a new sequence. This is gonna be player defeated. And then we're just gonna get it centered here. And then we will say over, I don't know, 15 frames. What, 18 frames? That's like a third a second. Add a keyframe. Oh, but you know what? We're gonna swap the curves. Cause you always gotta do Bezier curves. I mean, honestly, it's kind of mind-boggling to me that that's not the default state. So you need to be down here and over here. Then we can. Okay. Had a moment. Ooh. So you can like call functions in the middle of sequences. It's interesting. I guess I can see how that would be helpful. Add broadcast message. See what that does. And then we also want to have a Bezier. We'll do a ease out. Or ease out. Okay. Okay. So for some reason it didn't record this. There we go. Mute the ad. All right. And then we set the length of the sequence to 18. Okay. And just to have fun, just to have a little bit of fun. Do that. Cool. Right on. Okay. Go. Sequence player defeated, not set before reading it. Oh, because we haven't named it yet. Oh, shoot. Sequence player defeated. Throw that in our sequences. And just to make debugging a little easier, let's set OBJ enemy 1 to do... I'm seeing better ways to build stuff, and I'm gonna get distracted for a second. We're gonna say enemy damage is equal to 3, and then on object player, when we collide with enemy parent, we're gonna say HP is equal to negative enemy damage. And then an enemy parent, we need to, in the create stat, parent and create enemy damage and set it to 1 by default. Theoretically, that makes our square monster kill us in 1 hit. Okay, did kill us in 1 hit. Variable OBJ player dot enemy damage not set before reading it. Oh, because we're just looking at... Oh, duh. We need to reference it. So it's OBJ enemy parent dot. So I'm curious if this will do 1 or if it'll do 3, because now we're referencing the enemy parent instead of the enemy itself. It actually it seemed to work. We got into a crash dealing with the sequence not being created in the right layer. Let's see. Where are we calling this? In player defeated. Okay. In layer assets, sure. Let's make an asset layer. Sounds like a good plan. It's this one, right? Oh, it's tile layer. This is the asset layer. There we go. And we need to change you to not be _1. You are, in fact, assets. Boldly, proudly. Assets. No _1. Okay. Another crash. Unable to find instance for object index 15 at GML object dialog parent draw. Oh. That is a problem. What happens if you die in the middle of dialogue and it keeps saying, hey, I'm trying to write text to you. Okay. I don't even remember how we built dialogue system anymore. Where did we store all of this stuff? Just in its own object. Okay. So we need a way to break out of this. So, I'm seeing that we may need to eventually rebuild this so it's not its own object that runs straight through, but rather a script that before it sets any new line of dialogue, it checks if the player is alive. And if it isn't alive, cut the dialogue off. Break. Exit. So this is where we're writing everything to our structs. Then when are we displaying them? It's button. Oh. That's still going to be helpful. It's just not what we're looking for right now. Click enemy parent. Okay, so let's grab enemies. And bring enemies up here. Put them all in their own sort of space. We'll bring currencies over here. And then we've got, again, currency. Put them all under the parent. And then kind of related to currency are, well, that's not really even related to currency. It's just GUI. So we'll put GUI stuff over there and then player stuff over here. Don't need a OBJ ground out. That's unnecessary. A dialogue parent. Yes, we want to keep that. Dialogue, we'll put it kind of like in between everything. OBJ manager, you're just here to be like a global thing that exists. So we'll put you kind of off on your own. Boy, I wish dragging and dropping in that interface was just slightly easier. Then we have OBJ player key press space. This is all of our movement stuff. We can, I don't know why this is all on its own stuff here. We can close all that. And then move this up. Go. And then character parent can go over here and be like, whoa, 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 hierarchically above player and enemy. We'll move player, parent up, and player up. So we have character parent, enemy parent, player, enemy one. Here we go. Then this is dialogue. Maybe we'll scooch that off to the side or something. I don't know. I don't quite know how I'm going to organize that when we get more enemies. GUI stuff. I'll throw that down here. And then currencies. That. Woo! Got a lot of things open. Tile set world, don't need to worry about that. Collisions.gml. Oh, yeah. That's how we're doing our pixel perfect collision detection. That is like a resource used by the player. Don't need the sprite for the player. Up. Don't need OBJ collision. In fact, that seems unnecessary at this point. OBJ underscore collision. Yeah. Oh, but we are passing it in an object. Huh. Really? We have OBJ collision in here? No. Collision tiles? So we're saying object collision check equals instance place at X, Y, and object. Then when are we calling OBJ collision check? Right at the very end. Yeah, I'm a little confused by this. What is that object that we're passing in? I mean, it sounds like we're just passing in OBJ collision, which is a child of OBJ ground. OBJ ground is not in game anymore, right? Definitely not on the instances layer. We're just painting tiles. That is bizarre. I don't know what that is actually accomplishing anymore. Well, we can nuke our buttons for now. Don't really need those. Man, I wish there was a faster and better way to bulk manage this stuff. Like, I can't click and drag anything, you know? How do I close? Jeez. Can I shift click at least? No. It's frustrating. Tidying up windows, the favorite part. Every project. I guess that means we're making progress, though. Good thing. It's good. It's good to take note of when you accomplish something. If we're closing stuff out, then that means we built all this stuff and we don't need it anymore. We don't need it up. Good thing. Sure, we'll be opening it before too long, but get it squared away for now. OBJ Manager room start. Oh, and this is where we're writing all the buttons. Write the GUI for a level. And then all of these we can comment out because we're not using any of that. We're not even writing the GUI for the level. We're just creating objects. Create objects for each button to be clicked. Okay, now that's done. We can that OBJ player draw GUI. Okay. And the player defeated sprite. Okay, got it. Everything all cleaned up. Woo! All right. Now to get back to what we were actually trying to do. We need to add in a break for dialogue, where if the player is defeated, we need to pause all dialogue. Let's look for speaking objects. This dialogue parent, okay. Line and object, and then draw the text. Okay. So, If active equals 1. Okay, so what we can do in dialogue in player defeated is on creation of this, we can set obj underscore dialogue parent dot active to 0, and that will shut off. Maybe it will shut it off. I think I have an or in that. Oh, this screen looks so much better now without all those buttons. Yeah. Unable to find any instance for object index 10 name object dialog parent. Object player defeated. Create 0. Unable to find any instance for object index of object dialog parent. So object dialog parent is not in the game? This guy. I don't even know. Oh, that's our OBJ manager. Can we set dialog parent there too? Will that fix this? Ha. I introduced a new crash. Dialog parent active not set before reading it. Darn it. What is happening in here? How is this all built? How are we defining active? In the dialogue themselves. Okay, well that's obviously not great. So,
This mistake?
Let's
Are you still using Prime?
let's see here. We'll set to 0, active equals 0. Breaking again. Unable to find instance. Object dialog parent language obj manager dot language. Can't find manager? Manager is in fact gone. Why did I delete that? I think I was trying to delete dialog parent. B. Still not working. Okay, so why is language all this? Yes. Okay, let's delete dialog parent. Now it's working. Okay. Let's go back to dialog parent. Try and figure out this whole shebang. I mean, okay, so I'm seeing this line here of we're not destroying dialogues when they're running out. I think we probably should. I think that's a good just maintenance be in the habit of doing. Let's move the this down a little bit, move the table. There we go. All right. All right. So let's do destroy the thing here. Trying to find a quick way to select the whole line, because it's like highlighting the line, and it usually does that when you're like selecting something. Anyways, all right. We're gonna decomment this if array length of speaking messages equals 0, or player. There's got to be a function to check if an object exists. If so instance exists, obj player defeated. This should I don't know why we have this like since here. Oh, right. We're trying to rename ourselves, but I think we can just delete self, right? I don't think we need to do this whole like. I don't think we need to delete the object dialog 1 or 2, because it shouldn't even matter, because the only individual dialog object behavior is just self-creating and filling out that array, and it's not doing anything in the steps. It's not dealing with any of the display logic or anything. So we need to delete the dialog parent. So do I have to supply a dialogue? Or supply an object name? Or can I just do like self? Right? I just do self? That'd be nice. Unable to find instance. Okay. Draw dialogue parent. Yeah, we need to stop doing this. Right, which is why we are setting in the player defeated object dialog parent dot active is 0. So in our dialog parent, the problem is we also have this or alarm is greater than 0, and we need that alarm is greater than 0 so that we are allowing the final line of text in the dialogue to run the entire duration. So I think we need to change this if statement. Just say if active is equal to 1, and I'm gonna put this argument in comments just in case we need to revert back to it. But I think what we really need to do trying to think through this. I think I'm wrong here. I think I'm dead wrong. I think we do need this because this isn't the draw GUI step, so it's running every single frame. And the problem is there's a big problem here where if an instance of an object is destroyed in the middle of dialogue, the game breaks because now it's not able to refer to anything, right? So what we need to do then, when we're setting the object, we need to say if this exists, the instance exists, draw the text. So check if the instance object exists before writing the code. Before writing the dialogue message, the line. Before writing the dialogue line. There we go. Oh, okay, so this should be if. Yeah, no, this chair ain't working. Oh my goodness. Gotta go back to the big boy. Back is hurting. You way down. All right. Okay. So if what am I looking for here? If instance exists of object, then draw the line. Somehow a typo got in there. Save that. Let's try it. Not working. Oh, because we're missing a parentheses. Okay. Try that again. Man. Still breaking. Unable to find any instance for object index 10. Name object dialog parent. In stop 0. Okay. So what this is saying is in OBJ player defeated, we are setting active to 0, but I think dialog parent is self-destroying now, right? So let's look for destroy. I am flipping myself off of the camera here because I'm trying a new camera angle and everything. And I need to do something real quick. Maker fit. Filters. Oh, goodness. That's a bummer. Well, maybe I'll just go off camera. Do a little cozy stream. Drag this out. Hey, look at that. All right, we'll go cozy mode for a little bit here. So yeah, this I don't think we can destroy self. Because we're trying to set active to 0. Still breaking. Unable to find any instance. Object dialog. So we need like we just need some global kickout function. How on earth do we do that? How can we do this? This can't be as hard as I'm thinking it is. This be? How do we do this? This is one of those things that an experienced developer would be able to just like jump straight into. So this is what's causing our problem for now. So we'll disable that, play, and it's gonna crash at a different point. It's gonna crash when it's trying to reference something that... What? What? Okay, GameMaker did crash, but I don't have like an error message yet. It full on like Windows crash. That's crazy. Is that reproducible? Huh. Why? Why is that completely crashing with no debug messages? I've never seen that before. let's boy, I mean, it must be getting hung up on something, right? Should we toggle a breakpoint at the create sequence? If that's our problem. Oh, you know what? We didn't do debug. We just hit play. Dang it. Debug! Jump! Alright. We're hitting here. F11. There we go. So we've created the defeated object. We're destroying the player. Oh, we're... Okay, so this needs to be an else if then. That's one thing to fix, but... we're still going through and doing all the platforming stuff, and it shouldn't be. It's like the player object should be dead. Collision checks, which we shouldn't be. And it's hanging at this, creating the sequence. Why? No way past this. Why is the sequence crashing the game? Have the assets layer, have X and Y, have the sequence. Right? Somehow the sequence I made broke Game Maker. Fix, I went into the project folder, went to sequences, and deleted the sequence file. After that, the project file opened. I had added a function to the sequence, and I guess I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. It's giving me an error on run through. Instead of giving me an error on run through, it somehow corrupted the file. Well, I mean, what if we disable this? Okay, well, we're not crashed, so that's good. And we're not crashing the game when we load a dialogue either. So that's good. But for some reason, this sequence completely freezes the game. Yeah, we're not getting that dialogue anymore. We're getting a program not responding video or frame. Why on earth? Well, let's check up on sequence player defeated. Let's see what's going on here. Seems like this is all working just fine. And 18. Still breaking. So I'm curious if, like, will often indicate that you're infinitely looping. Yeah, that's exactly where I just got to as well. I'm curious if creating the sequence is creating objects, which are then creating sequences, right? So let's disable this. Well, let's copy it and then disable it. And then we go to the player parent. Not you, sorry. Go to OBJ player and then our end stat. Oh, that's right, because we're doing this on character parent. So we create defeated object. Create defeated object, which should then... Oh man! All right, I need an example, because clearly I'm not understanding this. The way that sequences and objects interact. So let's boot up another. Let's boot up Windy Woods here. And we're gonna go ahead and swap to Windy Woods. See how they handled it. Hey, kill me. Kill me. Please just kill me. Okay. Go to our objects. Oh, I need to swap my screen. There we go. Our objects, characters, character parent, and step. We're creating the defeated object. I'm assuming in OBJ player we are defining defeated object, right? Create. Yes. We are setting OBJ player defeated. What's happening in OBJ player defeated? On creation, we are not doing a sequence. That's how. Ha! Ah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and swap back here. Oh, hey, Leopard. How are you? Oh. Yeah. That's good. Oh, man. So, I think it's time to start looking up, like, how does sequence create work? Let's go to our transition. You saw me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sequence create. With this function, you can create a new sequence object. Okay, so we're not... Okay, so that's the wrong one. We're trying to... Gosh, how on earth do you do sequences? Well, I'm sure trying. Create sequence. I'm running into some problems that are being really tough things to try and figure out. So I need to learn a little bit more about how all this works so I can get better and figure out how to not have the problem anymore. This action... Okay. You can create a sequence element of any sequence from the asset browser. Give the name of the sequence and an XY position within the room where it is to be created, as well as the layer that is to be created on. You can tick the relative flags to position the sequence, sure. A light bulb? So that I look better on camera. It's not turned on because it's... Let's see if we can fix it somehow. You can tick the relative flags. K, it is given a unique element ID value. Therefore, this action permits you to define a target variable. Hold this ID value. Note that the target can be flagged as a temporary local variable. So, okay, what happens if in OBJ player, instead of doing instance create later, what if we just did oh yeah? It has a lot of characters. Yeah. Has skeletons on it. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is go to player defeated, and I want to see the live preview. What is the actual code of that? Layer sequence create. So there's sequence create and layer sequence create. Are you kidding me? All right, so let's go back to OBJ character parent. And we'll do this. And then we're gonna change sequence player defeated to defeated object. And then why is that giving me an error? Sequence ID. Sequence ID. What do you mean? Up there? So that it can be recording me. To name a string of the asset layer to create the sequence on the variable to target for the return value. Okay. So we've got layer sequence create, assets, x plus 0, y plus 0. I mean, we can probably just get rid of the plus zeros. And then... because we don't need to move it all. I think that's just an artifact from when it was in visual. It's 6. Object. The type assets.gmo gm object appears type asset g sequences. Okay. So we need defeated sequence? I did find E. What's so special about E? So let's add a new thing here, a new variable. Defeated sequence. Defeated sequence? And we'll just default this to player defeated. Let's see if that does the trick. Hey! Yay! I did it! Hooray! Okay, dude. Okay, I know. Everyone needs attention, huh? The kid woke up, and so now everybody needs it. All right. Cool. That's great. Yeah. Something like that. Okay, so I think what we can do on our character parent then on the end step, we don't need this defeated object. Or if we do, no, I don't think we do. I don't think we use the defeated object. I think we just use defeated sequences for it. Yeah, right? That's the right idea, right? Yeah, that's totally the right idea. I do have skeletons on my sweater, huh? Well, why don't you count them? And I'll keep building a video game. Oh, Barb. You gotta chill the beans. Okay, hold on. I gotta kick Marble out a little bit. Okay. There we go. All right. All right. There we go. So now, after instance destroy, we need to move rooms. So how do we move rooms? Rooms. We need to go to room. Go to. Room go to. And then move to hub area. It's true. Room underscore the void. Okay, so theoretically, when we run into the monster, we will just teleport to a black screen. Yay! Black screen! Hooray! We did it! We did the thing that we wanted to do. Yay! Right on. Okay. So let's go ahead and start populating that room. You know what? I think we're gonna actually need a new object, which is gonna be not the player, but it is going to be something akin to the player. It will be obj underscore player underscore what is it that I'm trying to name here? It is the player. It's going to use the player sprite. but it's not the actual player. We don't want to control it. So what we want is for it to really just be like the inventory of the character. So OBJ player, staging player, maybe? Just do that. Always want shows, huh? Yeah. Always want shows. Well, you did do exercise and cleanup today, and I heard you reading a lot of books. Let's do a little bit of a show. Wrap up the stream. I get the last little thing. There we go. Welcome. Thank you for being so obedient and doing exercise and reading and great. Okay. So the player staging player will use the player sprite. Okay, obviously that is a tautology. Let's just do OBJ player staging. And then we're gonna make a new sequence, which will be drag OBJ player staging in there and then put it in our sequence. Go, and we are just going to every second keyframe, and we are going to, how do we add tracks on this guy? No, that's adding an asset. Oh. Scale. I want scale. How do I add? Oh, that's right. It's this little button here, right? Yeah, scale. And convert to curve. And at this point, I just want to increase by like 1.2. Then we're going to set all of these to a curve. Bezier. Wanting ease out. Makes sense. We also want it to shrink back down, which I don't think it will. We're gonna want this on loop. No, not run. Stop. Okay, display button. Yeah, it's just warping back. So what if we set this to 0.5 instead? Then come up a little bit, okay? We'll add a new keyframe at the end here. What's on here? Weird. Okay, there we go. Oh, and we have a fourth keyframe now. Delete you. Okay, good. 1.2 and then 1. So it'll kind of expand just a teensy bit and then go down. Okay, 1.2 is probably too much. Let's go 1.1. It's way too fast. It's like a heartbeat now.
And the site is
Let's go to, let's half it again. Go to 0.5.
You're all set to that count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to
Uh,
And that, wait, did we just hit a
So the
million
problem
stage?
is,
Whatever
I
it
want
is,
this
businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a
to
month
last
at
longer.
shopify.com/YouTube audio.
Want to last for 2 seconds. We're gonna name it sequence player staging breath. Want the length to be 120 frames. One, set that to 2, set that to 1, set that to 2. Two. No. Why is that not doing anything? I'm resetting back to 1. Why? Not letting me drag past anything. It's letting me change the value, but I don't want to change the value. I want to change position. 2. Okay, delete you then. Let me do something. Was it because the player object is ceasing to exist? All right, so where's like my timeline? Is that breaking? How do I change? All right, I'm very confused now. What is happening here? Okay, there we go. The curve mode just doesn't have a timeline, period. That feels weird. That's still not working. Still can't. Ooh, that's frustrating. It feels like something is very breaking here. I think I'm gonna start over. Player staging. Set that to 0. There we go. That's a way we can center it quickly. And then drag you out for the whole 120 frames. Here. Curves. Position. Add scaling. Vert to curve. 1 or 60 frames. Keyframe. Then set it to 1.05. Play. Yeah, that's great. What was the problem before? Did it just like not update? All right. Let's go to the void. Bring in Okay, add the asset layer. And hit play. Boop. Yay! Awesome! It's working! Everything is going exactly according to plan. Let's see. Let's scale it up. Oop. Ah! All right, so let's set it to 3. The reason is we're gonna need to be, the player's gonna need to be interacting with it. They're gonna need to be dragging things onto it. So we're just gonna increase it there to be the right scale. 0.05. Die. Boop. There we are. Look at that! Anti-aliasing. What a marvel of modern technology. Cool. So what's next? We need like a grid to go on top of this. Oh no, that's not what's next. We need a level complete thing. I'm gonna make a new object, and it will be obj level complete. I'm gonna put this into environment, and we're gonna give it a some sort of sprite. Let me transition my browser here real quick. We'll just make a triangle or a star. Let's make a star. Hooray! You did it. You made it! What's up? Oh. You touch it. That's the problem. There you go. Welcome. Level complete. Export. Export. Game Maker. Right in here. Accidentally imported it twice because I'm perfect. Oh, and I also accidentally named it object instead of sprite, just like I did before when I caught myself on the other thing that I had to make today. All right, I gotta go get a kid a water bottle. I'm just gonna drop this star right, not the sprite object in the instances layer. Good. We're just gonna put that right there, and then we'll work on I guess actually we can just go to our character parent and do room, go to room the void on collision of the player with this. Verticode up. Slide with level complete. And then that should just be enough, right? Oops, I need to not hit the monster. Okay. For testing purposes, let's bring this over real quick. Hooray! Everything is fine. On that note, I'm gonna take a quick break, get this kiddo some water. Be right back. Thanks for hanging out. We're all having a very Merry Christmas. Let's jump back into it. So we can actually come in here now. We have neutral zone on death or level complete. Done. Hooray! Successfully accomplished something today. Feels really nice to do that after, you know, so long just toiling away on that view problem. My goodness. So next up, we need to build the shop room. I like your toothpaste. All right, so we need to go back to our asset browser. We need to make a new room. Wait, no, we don't need to make a new room. We already made the room, right? Made all the rooms. Artemis, leave it. Okay. We're all aware Artemis was being naughty. Thank you, Marvel. Do not need to be... Artemis. It's okay. It's okay. The apocalypse is not yet upon us, okay? Or that whatever it is already aware of, don't need. Okay. All right. So we need to add in a simple button. So we're just going to make a new button that will be OBJ button go to shop. Enter shop. There we go. I have to throw away your garbage? I've been throwing away your garbage for 3 years. Don't you think it's about time you threw out your own garbage? No? Alright. So, we're not doing variables. We are doing parent is object UI. Then, let's see, do we want parent or control parent? Oh, way to go, kid. That's awesome. Okay, so control parent does not actually do anything. It's just a different space because the upgrade parents have all sorts of logic of costing coins and stuff. So, which we'll need to genericize eventually. Okay. So come back to our button up here. Enter shop. Left pressed. It's going to inherit. And it will just be go to room. Go to specific room. Go to room. Go to bread. I went to bread. Shop. Then on shop, this is where we can put all of those buttons that we built. Put all of them over here. And it's going to be a disorganized, awful mess. Okay. Speed down, max, up. So we don't need up or down here. Friction power min, I think is probably good. Jump speed up. Jump speed max is going to be the thing. Up and down are going to be like the controls. Okay. There we go. We got 3 upgrades. And then we're going to do object button, enter shop. Oh, and we do need to assign the sprite to it. That's another thing we learned a while ago. Is you can't inherit a sprite from the parent. It's really annoying. Like it seems like that should be able to work, right? But yeah, it's really janky to try and figure out a way to do that. Another one of those weird game maker engine things. Like, why does this not already exist? I don't understand. Why don't we have controllers in here? Why is there not an easy way to have a GUI that you can click on? Move with the player. Why is this so hard? This seems like basic, you know, like many games would need this sort of concept. All right. Ooh. Oh, you know what? We also need to inherit the creator. Okay. And assign some variables to it. Text value is shop. And then we can get rid of that one. Now we need to duplicate this. And this is not enter shop, this is leave shop. And we should probably be naming these, yeah. This is why. Shop, leave, and then shop, enter. All right. Get rid of that button. So, shop, leave. Your text shall be leave. And if left pressed, you will instead go to the void. In this space, we need to have shop leave up. Okay. In the void, we're also going to need to add the go to the shop button. Come on. Oh, dear. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want a new instances layer. There we go. There's shop enter. We're also going to need the same thing, but for the workshop. Enter. And then workshop leave. Go ahead and change our text here. Workshop. Leave. Actually, yeah, we can just keep that, can't we? So in fact, we don't even need a workshop leave and a shop leave. We just need a to the void button, right? A button, void, enter. Then we can get rid of, well, no, let's delete this new one and then go to the button shop leave and call it. Because that one is already placed in a room. I don't want to have to go in and like... Object button void enter. We're supposed to get deleted. Excuse you. Alright. go to our workshop. And I'm literally just gonna, can I just copy entire layers? Port them over? No, okay. Let's see. Can I copy collision tiles? No. All right, fine. We'll build it all from scratch. So we're gonna make collision tiles. Which once again, why that is not like, why do I have to type this in if you're forcing a name on this in order for like for to work? I can't fathom. Okay. In our instances now, we're gonna drag player. You'll be kind of like up in the air in case you do wacky stuff with falling. We'll also paint like a tall, not that tall. Race. Oh, I gotta do this one pixel at a time. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, we're getting close. We're just making the QR code is all we're doing. I'm giving myself carpal tunnel. There we go. And we'll toss an enemy in. Toss an enemy in. Put a coin over here and a coin up here. And then we'll put void enter up here. Okay. Cool. We're getting there. Making progress. See where this gets us here. Okay. And then we can go to the shop. And it breaks. So the problem is object shop is somehow getting tied up with upgrade parent, but it shouldn't be. Let's go to control parent. Come on. I don't want to rename you. I just want to open you in the editor. Goodness. Edit. Yeah, your parent is button parent. What is this error we're getting here? Button upgrade parent. There shouldn't be anything there. Notice we got some ground drawn up there somehow as well. Why are you being... Button shop enter. Come on. Right click. Edit object. Text value shop. Room shop. Left pressed. If object, unable to find instance. If object player points, oh, so it's saying I can't find object player. Object player doesn't exist. And I would say you're correct. Object player does not exist. Because we don't care about object player here. Why are you referencing object player? You ever stop to think that you're the broken one, game? Oh, we do need to set it to active equals 1. Active equals 1. Same thing with this guy. Active equals 1. Workshop. Active equals 1. Try this. I don't think it's gonna do anything to fix stuff, but so why are you going into object upgrade button at all? This shouldn't be existing. Hey. Yeah. Drop enter. That's just the animation. Open parent event. Big button parent? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm definitely seeing a problem here, which is we've tied our currency to the player, which means when the player no longer exists, then neither does the currency, which we don't want. We want the currency to travel between rooms. So really, we need a global in Object Manager. We need global variables for the currencies. Global dot coin total. Set to 0. And want global dot XP. Then in the player, we're gonna change everything that deals with this. So it's no longer coins total, it's global dot coins total. There we go. Yes. Yeah, where did those come from? Oh, yeah? That's pretty cool. Add in a underscore there. And then... Whew. It's global. Okay, hold on. What's the smart way to do this replace? Change obj player dot to global dot coins total. If I can type. So we can replace these all. Oh, darn it. All right. Well, if I put the right things in, go, replace all. Oh. I won't have fingers with the grace of a finely cured Vienna sausage. And I need to look for coins total, just like by itself, without global attached to it. So, swap you out. Swap you out. Okay. We don't need that being declared anymore. Don't need... Okay, this is fine. Yeah, colliding with the coin gives us global. Need to change that clicking to be up 1. OBJ player, we don't need to declare coins total. And I think that'll take care of that. Then we've got XP. Find all. I think find next. 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 Place. Next. Base. Next. Don't need it in OBJ player anymore. And we do need to replace it there. Let's see. Where's the XP? Aha. Yes. Loop back, please. Thank you. I just want to make sure I got all the things. Where's XP in here? I don't see XP in here. Assign variable XP. I think I deleted it, and I think it maybe hasn't quite caught up to that. Cool. Right on. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, totally broken. We have coins total with 2 L's in OBJ player. Coins underscore total. Total. Fix that. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we should be able to buy like 3 runs. No. So we're getting a crash that once again, OBJ player has not been declared. Okay. So what does this persistent flag on objects do? Because I don't want to have to rebuild all this. I don't want to put everything as a global variable. Variable can be read out if the instance is flagged as persistent or not. Or it can be used to set persistence to true. A persistent instance is one that will be carried over from room to room, meaning, for example, that it only has to be created once at the start of the game. It will be present in all further rooms. There should be taken with persistence, as it is easy to lose track of persistent instances problems later in the game. Create an instance with persistence enabled in a room. This variable will be set to true. The room is changed, and if the following room does not have a layer with the same name or depth as the one assigned, then a new layer will be created for the instance persisting across the rooms. Gave a named layer when the instance was created. The new layer will also be named the same. Okay. A persisted instance moves to a room with a layer at the same depth. Okay. Persistent object will still have its game start, game end, room start, and room end events triggered. However, if you restart the game, all persistent objects will be removed and only exist when created again by the game. Also note that if you deactivate a persistent object, it will no longer pass. Okay, sure. I mean, let's set it to persistent. Let's see what happens. Let's buy, get a bunch of coins, shop. Okay. So that's working. Asterisk. Starting to think it's probably going to be better not to store these variables in the player, but to just read them in the player, and to be setting them in some other space, like some struct or something. And then we just trying to think if there's like an easy way that we can change this. Because like I'm wondering if we can do velocity y equals move speed equals struct dot player data dot move speed, right? Player stats dot move speed. Well, I think that's a problem for another day. And it is something that we definitely need to do to refactor that. But in the meantime, let's keep getting the workshop set up. And then we'll need a new button, well, which will be not workshop enter, but level enter. And that is next level, left press, and the room will be level 2, and we're gonna have to change that to be like reading that from somewhere. It's gonna have to be a variable, right? To just say whatever the next room is, go to that one. We'll have to have that'll have to be another global variable we're setting somehow, somewhere. We'll have our level enter there. And for testing's sake, let's go ahead and make the void our home room here. We have shop. Coins total is not getting set though. Redeclaring that. Object manager. Gotcha. And honestly, that's where all these variables might just need to start living in manager. Shop. Cool. Leave. Got the workshop, which is not going to the right thing. And then, do we have level 2 set up? No, we don't. Let's go ahead and add. You know what? Can we just duplicate you? Just duplicate the workshop. And delete room level 2 and change the new workshop to level 2. And then we'll get rid of this button. Set the player down. Move you over here. Just to like make things a little bit different, right? Just so that I know. Darn it. I just named this the wrong... I did all those edits in the workshop room instead of level. Okay. Nothing a quick name change can't fix up. Level 2. Okay. Now we need to go to workshop enter because apparently we have set the wrong target. Yep, didn't even open it. Shop. Okay. Play. Up, back, workshop. Good. Oh. Layer sequence create. Could not find specified layer in Kerm. Oh, we need the assets. Yeah. Assets. There we go. And we're going to need that in the workshop room as well. Make assets, save, play. Oh, yeah? All right. There we go. Doing good. Died and got sent back. Do you have coins? We do have coins. So we'll need to actually not be setting the global variable probably until we hit level complete or something, maybe? I don't know. Oh, and our button level enter. Oh, let's go into level 2. Try resetting that in case like the whole swapping names around thing kind of broke it. There we go. Oh yeah? Okay. Now, there's one last thing I want to do before we wrap up here today. Which is adding a little delay on death before moving rooms. Go to room. Void. Okay, room go to, obviously. Okay. So we're gonna move this go to into the end step. Move to hub area if dead. If HP less than or equal to 0. Come on. Okay. Then we want the timer. So we're gonna say alarm set alarm 1 to 120. Now, why are you screaming at me? It's a non-existent event. Oh, right, yeah. So really, what we're doing here is we're setting up an alarm, and then on alarm 1, we will, when the alarm goes off, move to the void. Oh, but we're deleting we're deleting the object as soon as we are dying. So we need to set this to obj player underscore defeated dot alarm set. Or do we even? Do we just need to put that in player defeated? On creation, set an alarm, and then on alarm 0, the code, I know, paste, move to the void. Try that again. Level, bloop. There we go. Now we're crashing the game again. Oh, because we're destroying the we're destroying the player. Oh man. So let's write out what we need to do next time. Over here, sweetie. So we got the shop built, and we even have the practice room, which is rad. So next up, we need to abstract the player. There are two, right? Okay. Hey. I know. You think it's dinner time. But you don't actually understand that it's very much not dinner. Okay. So we need to tomorrow abstract out player and enemy stats. Okay, give me 2 seconds, okay? Are you? I know you can. You're a big girl. Abstract out player and enemy stats, and then reference in player and enemies. And then, well, actually, we don't even need to do it for the enemy stats because those don't need to be globals. We just need to do it for the player stats so that we can affect them when object player does not exist. And then we need to build workshop control buttons, which, man, that's so dead simple. I'm just gonna do it right now. Up, down, up, down, up. Bloop. Well, on the instances layer. Okay, we have move speed up. And this one's what? Come on. Ugh, Game Maker, why are you going so slow? What's happening here? Okay, move speed down. And then jump speed up. Jump speed down. Friction power up. Friction power down. And that should just work, right? Up. Okay, work up. Oh! Player's gone. But the buttons work just fine. So great, that's done. So we need to abstract out the player stuff, the player stats. And so we don't have that problem of OBJ player getting just completely borked all the time. And then we need to work on the inventory grid plus polyominoes. And if we get that done tomorrow, that will be a very, very, very successful day. So, with that, I'm going to head out. We've been streaming for 3 hours. It's been a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.